So in this video, we are going to learn about a few new uh, commands that we can use in Bash to kind of maneuver around our file system on our computer. And we're also going to get our first text editor and create our first Ruby program outside of IRB using that text editor. So currently I'm in the Ruby shell. So if I type the command exit, it actually gets me out of that and back into Bash. And you can see it just changed, and we're in Jack's MacBook Pro, user Jack Buram. And tilde usually means that we're in the root directory, so we're at the very beginning of the file system. So if we ls, we're familiar with that command. We can see what the contents of the current directory are. We see all these pretty things. Command K to clear. And now what we're going to do is, first things first, you guys are going to need to download a text editor. You may already have a text editor that you like using if you've programmed before, but if you have not, I'm going to be using a text editor called Sublime, and I recommend that for anybody who has not used the text editor before, because you'll be more comfortable with it because I'm going to be using it, and it's really great for syntax highlighting, and it's got a great interface. So I do recommend it. It's free. If you Google Sublime Text, it'll be the first thing on there. You guys download that, pause this video, and then come back, and we'll go from there. So now that you have Sublime Text or any text editor, let's create a new directory. So if we type the command mkdir, make directory, and we call it Ruby, I might already have this, so it might not actually be a good thing. Let me just double check that. I do. All right, so we're not going to make it, I'm not going to call it Ruby. You can call it whatever you want. Make directory, we'll call it learn Ruby. We can then enter into that directory. So if we cd into learn Ruby, our path is no longer going to be the home directory. We're going to be within the learn Ruby directory. You can see now we're in the learn Ruby directory. If we type ls, we're not going to have any contents in there. But what we can do now that we're here is we can start to create some files. So let's use the command touch to create our first file, and we're going to call it first program.rb. And so this is our file name, and this .rb is the extension that we give to the file. And what this extension means, RB, is it's a Ruby file. So your computer will know that this is Ruby code that it should be executing. So we press return, and then we ls again to list the contents of the directory. We have our first program.rb file. Now if we want to edit this file within a text editor, we can. Because we have Sublime, there's a keyboard a command line command that you can use to get to Sublime. So let's type subl space period and press return, and we'll have Sublime come up to us. And I might have Sublime running already, so I might be met with another file, but here we go. Okay, cool. So we have Sublime Text. We can see we're in our Learn Ruby directory, and we have our file first program. If we double click that, go into the file, and let's type a very, very basic Ruby program. So we type puts first program. Woohoo! That's what I interpret exclamation marks to mean, I guess, right now, is woohoo. But, you know, to each their own. So if we go back to our command line, we can actually run this program. So I'm going to press Command Tab, and it'll bring me back to the last application I was using. So Command Tab brought me back to terminal. You can just navigate there yourself manually if you want, or you can try Command Tab. And I'm going to type Ruby first program.rb. And this command is actually going to execute whatever contents are in this file. And because we use the puts command, that's going to actually, it should return us the string that we typed out in there. So go back, run it. We now have created our first Ruby program using the Sublime text editor and running it on the command line. Congratulations, guys. Another Ruby bucket list item crossed off. I will see you guys in the next video.